Your indicators of deception are all over you. Look at that eyebrow you got that you keep trying to push down. It's a good indicator. You can't hide your body language. I see nothing but deception in you.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today is going to be a very satisfying video because this absolute creep went on Dr. Phil's show to try to clear his name, thinking that for some reason we'd all fall for more of his lies, but instead Dr. Phil assembles a team of experts and they come with the facts. They are ready to just tear this guy down, lie from lie. It's ridiculous, so make sure you keep watching till the very end. But without further ado, let's just hear some of the allegations against this guy.
18 women, one man allegedly have reported similar assault stories. There have been 10 911 calls made about you.
So yikes, really not starting off well. That is a lot of people coming from the woodwork saying, hey, this guy is not appropriate when he's doing his job. He is crossing the line, absolute creep. And he's on this show thinking that Dr. Phil is somehow gonna believe him and that he's such a master manipulator that he can just fool everyone. But instead, he just ends up looking foolish because this whole time, every lie gets exposed like pretty much immediately. Yo, really quick, you guys, there is a large chunk of you that watch my videos that are not subscribed. I really don't know what's up with that, but if you're enjoying the videos and you have a second, drop down below the video and hit subscribe. You might even want to hit that bell as well if you want to stay up to date on my uploads, but I really appreciate it. Anyways, back into the video.
You are a walking encyclopedia of contradictory statements. The Tennessee license to perform massages has been revoked based on client testimony.
And it kind of sounds right there like Dr. Phil is almost adding in a bit of personal flavor there. You're a walking encyclopedia of contradictory statements, but really this guy has been on the show for a while at this point. I actually skipped pretty far into this story because I didn't really need to hear him speak too much. I just wanted to get to the exciting part where they expose him, because he's spending the whole time on stage pretty much trying to just have everyone believe his lies, and you could tell he is a terrible liar. Apparently this guy was also on an episode of Catfish. I don't really watch that show all that much, but he was super creepy on there and contacted them just to get in touch with this girl, apparently. I don't know. So he has a history of being creepy, and it sounds like pretty much everyone he worked with reported him for being just completely inappropriate.
You asked to take a polygraph.
Do you know the results?
I do not know the results.
I'd like to find out together.
So now they're about to reveal the polygraph test results to this guy, and Dr. Phil is going to give him a long intro before this. I don't know how he didn't see this coming, but Dr. Phil is asking him a bunch of setup questions like, okay, if you took this test, were you uncomfortable at all, or were you answering fairly? And he's like, okay, I answered normal. And he also asks him, if you find out that it's good information, you're gonna say, yes, of course, I told you I wasn't lying. But that also means that if it's not good and it looks like you were lying, you have to accept that still the test was doing its job and you got exposed. And he says, yes, of course, I'll agree with the evidence. I will respect the findings, he says. Like, this guy's a total joke. Obviously, he's not gonna do that, but let's just hear the results.
John, what was the result?
Major deception.
Major deception.
So obviously the test results were not very accurate. He was asked if he's ever done anything inappropriate while massaging people and doing his job, and he said of course no, because he thinks he hasn't. But obviously this lie detector test is going to be telling the truth, and the guy who is an expert in this field that was reading this test can very clearly see that you are just majorly lying. Like, I don't know why he's still going to try to cover this up, but let's watch him fumble through trying to explain this.
I'm very surprised to hear this. I don't know if there were I know there were a lot of concerns during the testing regarding how much water intake I had and sweat being produced and the timing, and I was told to do it that
now
before.
wait a
I don't
minute.
know.
He immediately starts getting defensive and doing exactly what he told Dr. Phil he wouldn't do. That's why Dr. Phil's like, oh, okay, now hold on. You told me one thing and now you're doing the other. What do you want to do? But really, this guy's just scrambling right now.
I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just surprised. Yes, the room was fine. He was fine.
Well, you didn't stay with your commitment for 45 seconds.
And Dr. Phil has resulted to just laughing at this guy's face, because it's like, what are you trying to do here, dude? You're trying to save your name and your identity by coming onto this show and clearing up this situation for us, but you're doing a terrible job because you're lying and clearly you're guilty, and instead you're being exposed. Now millions of people know just how creepy you are. So speaking of those former interrogators and people just that are super knowledgeable of body language, now it's their turn to shine. They're all going to be speaking with this guy, and telling him basically their findings of how BS his entire story has been. So real quick, I'm not gonna have him intro all of these people, but you got a couple dudes from Harvard, I think, people who have served high up in the US intelligence, like operations field. I don't even know what it's called, but these guys, they're just like the top of the game when it comes to being experts on looking at people's body language and how they're lying.
I'm gonna tell you, I can see a lot of body language. If I wanna start with barriers, when you say your business is very successful, immediately changing.
So the first thing, I love this. The guy's like, when you talk about how good your business is doing, clearly you were capping there. You are a loser, your business sucks. And then he gives an example of how his body language changed to show that. That's like the least thing he should be worried about right now, how his business is doing. Instead, he should worry about his personal image and being seen as an absolute creep, because he is. But you know what? Let's keep moving. We got bigger lies to expose.
There's all this ever-present water bottle you put to your mouth as you get to fight or flight. Your indicators of deception are all over you. Look at that eyebrow you got that you keep trying to push down. It's a good indicator.
This has got to be freaking stressful, bro. Like, this dude is intense. And I like that he's acting that way with him because, I mean, this guy needs to be spoken to like this. You are not fooling anyone. You're a terrible liar. But he's such a just psychopathic, narcissistic personality that he thought he could really come on this show and just put on a grin and, you know, tell us the words we want to hear and we would all believe him. But clearly, when you have 19 separate people, not in any way related besides having used your massage therapy service, all sharing the same stories of you being creepy, that leads us all to believe that you are pretty much guilty.
I see indicators of disgust from you, disdain and contempt, and I see those around when you talk about women.
And the second guy's coming in like, all right, bro, low-key, you got some big incel vibes, but you know what? You're also a major liar. Yeah, this guy also explains some various body language issues that he found with this guy when he spoke, and clearly he just really has a hard time fooling people, even though he thinks that he is just some master manipulator. It's pretty hilarious to see.
Often in the videos that I've seen, I see an eye roll from you.
I have an eye
which is quite a
strain.
juvenile gesture. I'm sure you have an answer, Tarek, for everything.
This is my favorite dude so far. He's like, first of all, it's childish that you even eye roll. Like, that is showing how emotional you actually are and not in control of your emotions like you think you are. But secondly, I know you have an answer for anything. Stop talking, all right? I went to Harvard. I'm telling you how much of a BSer you are right now, and you just got to be quiet.
I mean, you see the eyebrow is rising and you keep saying you have an eye problem. You don't have an eye problem, you have a truth problem. And that eyebrow is showing us you're trying to adjust the wrong eye, buddy.
So one of the other major tells is he rolls his eyes or does this little eye twitch whenever he tells a lie, which is what I think to be like one of the most common things that people overlook when they're lying. It's pretty easy to tell by looking right at their eyes. But he claims that he has an eye issue and he goes to reach for it, and this guy's like, dude, that's not even the correct eye that you do the thing with. Like, you are such a liar and a terrible one at that. Why are you still trying? Just let us demolish you right now.
Well, can I just say something? I've spent thousands of dollars and had serious eye surgeries, at least 4. And this one's like my really bad eye. Like, there's a ton of astigmatism.
And his answer is, I have a ton of astigmatism in this eye. I got like 4 surgeries. It was really crazy, okay? Like, sorry I have eye issues. No, I'm sorry you're a freaking creep and you're terrible at lying. But guys, that about does it for today's video. This was a segment from this story. There's more to it if you want to go to Dr. Phil's channel, but it is just him pretty much BSing the entire time. I wanted to have him talk the least amount and show the experts just demolishing every lie that he showed today, because that was the most entertaining part to me. But anyways, that about does it for today's video. Let me know what you thought of this guy down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.